Okay, what I'm doing here is a technique called locker hooking. It's an old technique, been updated to use cotton strips of fabric on a canvas and using cotton string and a locker hooking tool. Now, a locker hooking tool is basically a crochet hook with a big eye at the end to thread your string through. And the locker hooking works by hooking the cotton strip through the canvas and locking it in place with the string. It's as simple as that. It's quick, it's fun, it's easy, it grows quickly, and it's a great way of clearing out your fabric stash. Right, what you need for locker hooking is basically ordinary printed cotton fabrics, great from your patchwork stash. All of the strips are 1-inch strips and you want to tear them, not cut them, because that means they fray less. So just go along the selvage edge of your fabric and mark off 1 inch and just cut a little snip, just like that. When you've done that, all you need to do is tear it across the width of the fabric. The edges will curl up a little bit, but that's not a problem. When you've done that, just run your fingers along, just pulling off any loose threads, and cut the selvage off, because you don't want any selvage ends in your work. One key technique you need is basically joining the fabric strips, because you'll join them as you go along as you run out of fabric. To do that, you fold the end under and just cut a little slit in the fabric, just like that, and in the one that you want to join to it. Exactly the same idea. Just a little slit in the end of the fabric. Then all you do is you put this one over this one and you pull through the slit in the fabric, just like that. Put this back through itself. And when you've done that, you can pull it up tight. Pull it as tight as you can to make a flat little knot. And there's your fabric strips joined, and you can just locker hook that in as you go along. Here's a piece of locker hooking part way through. There's a couple of things to mention on this. One is that you can see you can use patterned fabric, and it doesn't matter what the pattern is, as long as the base colour is the right colour, then you're not going to see the pattern. You can use your scraps up. This is made with a whole lot of different creams, but they work together nicely and give a nice overall effect. The same with the reds. Now, you can also see how easy it is to mark. There's no counting with this. Just use a big black marker, any make will do, doesn't matter if it's permanent or not, and you can just draw your patterns straight onto the canvas. You can use patchwork patterns, cross-stitch patterns, knitting patterns, anything. Just draw it straight on and fill it in as you go with the right colour. Now, with regard to colour changes, you start locker hooking at one edge, and your string carries on through all the colours. So you just do your black here, then drop the black, then start on the cream, drop the cream, start on the red. And then when you work your way back, you can pick the colours up again. So it's really quick and easy. This is going to be a cushion, and you can see I've left a good amount of canvas around the edge so that I can sew that onto a backing fabric. If it was going to be a finished item without a backing, then I would have just folded the edges under, just like this, and then I would have oversewn the edges with another raw fabric strip, and that would be finished and ready for use. It can be washed once it's done, but it will go slightly softer, but it can be washed many times without any problem at all. One final quick idea: you don't have to use fabric. You can use some of the wonderful thick chunky yarns that are available with all the fancy bits in. You can even mix yarns. So if you've got a glitzy yarn and a nice heavyweight yarn, you can mix the two together, or even mix a glitzy yarn with your fabric for different effects. These are part of our new upcoming range of yarns for the autumn season, but any kind of fancy yarn will work well.